I think these chips are great for a special occasion or for maybe when you want to treat yourself. I really think that you can't beat a good chip. Hi, my name's Becca and I'm one of the chef tutors here at the Waitrose Cookery School. And today I'm going to be taking you through how to make triple cooked chips. We teach this recipe quite a lot at the Cookery School. It's on our steak course where you learn how to make the perfect steak alongside triple cooked chips and a nice sauce. To see that recipe, just click on the video in the top right hand corner. When you're choosing your potato for your chips, you want to choose a nice fluffy, floury potato. So I've chosen Maris Piper today, which is my #1 choice. These potatoes are going to be really nice and fluffy on the inside, but also go crispy on the outside, so that's why they make a good chip. King Edwards are also a really good choice for chips. So once you've chosen your potato, you're going to peel them and then we're going to cut them up into chip shapes. So we want our chips to be quite chunky. If you make them too thin, when you boil them, they will fall apart, and then when you come to fry them, you'll just get broken up chips in your fryer. So you really want to make sure that you do make the chips fatter than you sort of expect, I think. So this is the sort of size chip we want to go for. It's quite chunky. It looks a little bit too big at the moment, but by the time we're finished, you're going to be happy that you've made chunky chips. If you wanted to get a super straight potato chip, you could chop off the round edges of the potato. But to be honest, it's not really something I do at home. I'm really trying to minimize food waste and it all tastes good. Then we're going to rinse our chips in some water. We really want to do this when making chips as it's going to remove the excess starch from the potato, and this is going to help to make a crispy outer texture on your chips. The link to the full recipe is in the description. We're going to start by boiling the chips. Pop your chips straight in and then set a timer for about 10 minutes. Once we get to about 10 minutes, you want to just check them. They're going sort of fluffy on the outside. They're feeling a little bit soft, which is perfect. So you just want to take a baking tray and lay out a clean cloth or tea towel on there to drain your chips on. And then I'm just going to use my slotted spoon to lift the chips out and pop them straight onto the cloth. This is a stage you could do in advance if you wanted to, because you need your chips to cool and dry before you start frying them. You can't just fry it straight away because it will fall apart and it'll be too wet. The chips have had 10 minutes to cool and they're nice and cool to the touch. They don't feel super hot and they're a lot drier as well. If you don't have a deep fat fryer, you can cook your chips in a pan, a large pan with the oil in it, and heat it up. I like to use a heavy base saucepan. Ideally, like a cast iron pan is great because it sort of maintains the heat in the pan. You also will need a thermometer because it is important when you're frying your chips twice that you do it at 120, then at 190. I'm using sunflower oil to fry my chips today, but sunflower oil, vegetable oil are perfect oils for frying chips. So I'm going to add my chips into the basket of the fryer. The basket is out of the oil and then I can drop them down and start frying my chips. So with this tray, I'm going to use kitchen paper on top to help absorb the oil when we tip the chips out onto the tray. So the first fry of these chips is going to be about 3 to 5 minutes. After the chips have had about 5 minutes to fry at this temperature, you just want to have a look at them and see how they're doing. We want the outer crust to form on the chips. Should feel a bit softer on the inside and crispier on the outside. Once they're starting to feel like that, then we know they're ready to go. I like to just give them a little drain in the fryer so you don't get oil everywhere, and tip your chips straight onto there. Then at this point, we're going to turn up our fryer to 190 degrees and leave the chips to drain on this tray until the fry is at the right temperature for the second fry. This is definitely where the magic happens on the second fry. And then this time, we're looking for the chips to go really, really nice and golden brown and crispy on the outside. Chips have always been a big part of my life. I actually wrote my dissertation on chips when I was at university. So I think these are looking pretty good now. So I'm going to tip them back onto that tray and let them drain a little bit before we season them. So I've got a big bowl here and some fine sea salt, which I like to use to season my chips and give them a little toss around. Whoops. My chips are ready to serve now. I'm going to arrange them in here. This recipe serves 2. You can give them another little sprinkle of salt if you want to at this point. I'm really happy with my chips. They look fantastic. So nice and fluffy. They really are special chips. Thanks so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoy the triple cooked chips. It's a really fantastic recipe. Definitely one to try at home. They are absolutely perfect.